Hello everyone, my name is Nunu. Today we're back with F1 2018 career mode, jumping straight into the race. Why are we doing this? Because I lost the footage from qualifying. So I'm going to give you a short recap. Basically, we got through to Q2 on the Hypersoft tires, got through to Q3 on the Hypersoft tires as well. I don't know why I did that, because we didn't do any running in Q3 because we have engine penalties anyway. So because of course, if you saw the end of the last episode, we took 20 grid place penalties, but I decided to just shift out more of the car, more of the girl, the she, or whatever you want to call it. But basically, what we're going to be doing, we are going to be having 45 grid place penalties here on the circuit Hermanos Rodriguez in Mexico, 2 kilometers up into the sky. And of course, coming into this race, the championship is extremely close between me, Fernando Alonso, and Dan Ricciardo. Hopefully, we can pull out a gap on them, but we're starting from 20th on the grid, so the chances of that are pretty small. But I've always had a good pace around this circuit because I like to run kind of low drag, and I take so much more curb through the S section, so that's really a place that I gain a lot of times. We're going to take an ultimate slow driver grid right there. You can see Nico Hulkenberg goes pole, our championship rival Daniel Ricciardo lines up besides him. Then you have Carlos Sainz and their teammate respectively right behind them. And then our teammate down in 6th place, the home hero, also has a 5 grid place penalty, so it's actually up in the pole origin, but got dropped down. Our other championship rival, Fernando Alonso, is going to start in 9th place, so one is going to start in 2nd, one is going to start in 9th. So it's going to be a dramatic race to see if we can make up the place. I believe we can get on the podium. Maybe a challenge for the win if we're very, very optimistic, because he was starting down in 20th place. To be completely honest, I actually didn't want to do this race because I've already done it once, and I kind of died at that one because right when I came over the line, the game crashed, so I had to redo the race, which was totally sad. But we're going to be doing a one-stop strategy onto the super soft tires. So here we are on the grid. We're on the soft tires because of course we could choose all the soft tires because of course we could choose. But here we are, 5 red lights, and we're underway. 36 laps around the circuit. Hermanos Rodriguez, Magnus in the front of us gets a good getaway, and I can see up in the front that they're already beginning to battle. We can at least follow up behind Brendan Hartley. We're trying to see if we're going to make an overtake because, of course, we have the slipstream from these guys just inside of Hartley or something like that. But they break extremely early. Every one of them, right there. We pile up into the first corner, make a huge dive down the inside for like 3, 4, 5 positions even. So up into 14th place we go now. We're behind Charles Leclerc. You can see actually both of the Ferraris are behind us right there. One of the McLarens right there. Alonso has been losing a bit of positions too. So I think that's Bottas right there, but we are going to be going for the dive down the inside of Marcus Ericsson, so we made up 7 positions already through the first sector, but we're still keeping it down the inside. We're going to keep it around the outside right there, and we get the position on him right there. Van Dorn also getting a left a little bit behind, having lost a position to a Williams, interestingly enough, the 2nd worst car on the grid, which is extremely weird that he's lost the position. It's like, that's almost like, let's say a Red Bull losing a position to a Toro Rosso in real life. But here you can see Van Dorn is going to go for the move down the inside of Circus Rockin' pretty fast right there. We're going to see if we can be able to gain anything after the battle right there. Still at the end of the first lap, trying to go around the outside of the stadium section. So onto now, the race has been very, very good. Made of 7 positions in the first lap, so probably the best start that I've ever done, to be honest. And as I said, I'm very good around this circuit, and I love this circuit. It's one of my favorites on the calendar. I don't know why, but I just really love the corners on the track. It's not too long, so the lap times are not very long around here. We go for the dive down the inside of Stroll and Van Dorn right there. It's a 2-1 coming into the first corner of the 2nd lap. Of course, down the long straight right there. As I said, I like to run low setups, and I use a lot more curb than these AIs. And there's a huge save right there. A huge kind of thing happening right there. You can see we just got onto the curb. I've already missed an apex before. You can see we're full opposite lock almost 2 times in that one. Just wanted some nice and quality slow motion replay. We missed the apex right there coming on to lap number 5, and we get our first track limit penalty of the day. There it looks like Valtteri Bottas has been battling out with the guy right in front, the House of Roman Grosjean, I think that is. Yes, it is. So you can see we get very, very close behind, and here we are. We're gaining, coming into the stadium section. We are going to be going for the move down the inside. Coming into the stadium section, past Bottas we go. So lap 6, we've made up 10 positions. Kind of insane. Here was a good picture of how much more curb than I was actually taking than the AI, which is also, I would say, the reason why I'm gaining so much time on these, because I don't know. I would say I'm running a little bit lower drag than these guys, but as I said, I'm taking a lot more curve. So through the S section especially. Here we are going for the move on Roman Grosjean, Kevin Magnussen's teammate. What are you talking about? And then we're up behind Fernando Alonso, who started in 9th place. Somehow we've gotten out behind Fernando Alonso, which is absolutely insane comeback drive at the moment. But here we have Charles Leclerc, I think that is, who's actually somehow managed to make his way up the grid. And you can see right behind there, you have Dan Ricciardo now coming into the pits. A championship rival, or what's that, Max Verstappen? I didn't even notice. One of the Red Bulls coming into the pits. But in the lead at the moment is, actually, surprisingly, Carlos Sainz. Right behind him is his teammate Nico Hulkenberg. So it's a 1-2 for the Renault, of course. They have really been up there in the championship, or maybe not the championship battle, but their car has really been performing up to spec. We get close to Alonso, but eventually he pits in, and that actually means we're going to move into the top 5, come up to 4th place, and now it's time to go chase after a team. You can see, just as I said, that curb right there, you can see here I almost threw all of the car onto the curb, but these guys are very not as risky, and you can see just how much time. Even we were on worn tires at this moment. It has to be said that these tires were pretty much butt raped. Now we get the information on Hulkenberg that is going slowly right there, and he's actually right in front of us, and there's an extremely awkward moment between our teammate and us and Nico Hulkenberg, but eventually we get past our teammate right there because he has a puncture, and you can see that was an extremely weird moment because he parked up himself right on the apex right there. And then Perez wasn't doing anything, so we had to take action on our man to overtake them right there. That was an extremely close moment. Sergio Perez diving into the pits right in front of us there. Of course, this pit lane is one of the longest and one of the most painful on the Canada, because you're coming onto the long straight, which is actually one of the longest. But there we have a virtual safety car coming out right as Sergio Perez and Nico Hulkenberg is coming into the pit, so it's pretty much just playing into their favor. Surprisingly enough, it's actually Marcus Ericsson who's leading the grid behind the safety car, so he's in 1st place, right behind the safety car, or is he? No, he's not. The safety car lets him go. But you can see, extremely unfortunate that the safety car is right there, that these guys come in. We're going to come in 2 laps early because the safety car's here now, so maybe we can gain a bit of time, or at least have the same pit stop time as these guys have. We come out between Alonso and Van Dorn, which means that we've lost out massively to these guys. We've come out in front of Sergio Perez, actually, also, so that doesn't mean anything. What am I talking about? But we've managed to defend the position from Sergio Perez right there. Of course, he came in while we were supposed to catch the safety car queue. We're still supposed to catch the safety car queue, but it's kind of like when you're coming up behind a safety car, there's 2 phases. There's the phase where you need to stay in a certain delta, which that's the point where it's best to pit, because whenever you go chasing after the safety car, it's still full throttle on there because there's no limitations. But here we are, lap number 14, 2 laps later after the safety car came in. We're behind Fernando Alonso, in front of Van Dorn, McLaren sandwich, and it is green there, and we get a terrible exit out of the final corner, which is probably the most important corner on this circuit. You can see right behind us here, our teammate Sergio Perez managed to get past Van Dorn right there with an overtake around the outside of the first corner. There you go, side by side. They're really at it every single corner. Of course, our teammate is on the Hypersoft, and I think Stoffel Van Dorn is actually on the Ultra Soft tires. I don't really know, I couldn't really see it from that, but eventually looks like Sergio Perez is going to end out on top of that battle. Force India versus McLaren right there, so that means that actually it looks like Van Dorn's going to end out on top of that one. So finally you have Ericsson pitting in. He was actually in the lead behind the safety car right there, but finally he pits in, and here we are, we're gaining on Alonso and Leclerc, and it's another double overtake coming into the first corner, but they outbreak us, and eventually we're going to tug out behind Charles Leclerc, trying to go for the move around turn 2, but he can carry the exit kind of through the 3rd apex in turn 3, so he gets an under acceleration, as well as Sergio Perez now trying to make the move, and he's absolutely dominated us on that straight because of that great exit, and of course the DRS assistance. So now we're down back behind the team. What am I doing with the microphone? I'm kind of messing it up, but here we are gaining on Charles Leclerc, lap number 19, battling, going for the move down the inside of that corner. That's not really the best place to overtake, but for some reason I found it very, very funny to overtake, and very, very interesting, and not too hard to overtake, because of course we were gaining extremely much through the SS section, made us get a better exit of that corner, so that was kind of a good place to overtake. Now we're just basically looking around the grid. Here we have And on board with Fernando Alonso. It's actually us right there, right besides him, going for the move down the inside. Oh wait, that's Sergio Perez. I said nothing. But you can see there, he's going for the move down the inside of the first corner with that slipstream. And he goes past right there, so... at the moment, we are going to have a mid-race update. You can see there we're falling a bit behind, but to make our way up to 4th place behind our teammate Sergio Perez is absolutely insane. Carlos Sainz continues to lead the race. Of course, Nico Hulkenberg had problems, so he's fallen down to 7th. Our championship rivals at the moment is 2 and 5. Daniel Ricciardo up in 2nd, and Fernando Alonso down in 5th place. We're also going to be taking a look further down the grid at another point. But Charles Leclerc somehow managed to find the Cyber going up to 6th place. So some good points for him if he can manage to keep that one home. But of course, we'll see. Going longer down the grid, you can see they're rounding up the grid. It's what a surprise. It is Circus Rockin in the Williams. You can see them, the tire strategy. We're going from ultra soft to super soft tires. It actually looks like Dan Ricciardo and Sergio Perez is going to come into the pits right as we end the thing. And there's another safety car, a virtual safety car, right as these guys come into the pits. Of course, we don't have to make another pit stop, but these guys are going for a 2-stop strategy, surprisingly. And that means that we move into 2nd place right behind Carlos Sainz. I was on the ultra soft tire as well, so I think he's going to pit in for a 2-stop as well. So that means that we might actually be able to take the win here in Mexico. And if we do that, that would be absolutely insane stuff right there. We're cruising around. We're not fastest man on track at the moment. That's Nico Hulkenberg. Here we are getting the 2nd track limit warning of the day, lap number 27. So a 3rd one, and that would be a penalty for our side. But you can see Dan Ricciardo's quickly catching. Of course, he's on the softer compound. And much newer tires. We've dragged these... tires all the way from lap number 13 and now lap 30 or something. So quite a long stint right behind us with Dan Ricciardo catching up a lot, but we're just trying to keep him behind. Here we are on board with the fin of Valtteri Bottas, and it looked like Nico Hulkenberg with just 1.5 laps remaining is out of the race because of engine problems. That is so unfortunate, but here we are coming around the last stadium section to lead home a 1-2 for Force India. Sergio Perez, the home hero, doesn't manage to take the win over us. Of course, he got past. I think Ricciardo pitted in, or that was that Max was done. But it is a 1-2 for Force India here, the Mexican Grand Prix, and a massive gap. We catch up massively to Red Bull in the constructor standings. Absolutely great results right there. Right, guys, I'm going to be taking over the podium celebrations because, as you can't hear, you can't really hear Crofty talking in the background. So eventually it was Nuno who took home the race victory on the race, staying right here, steps on the top step of the podium. What a great race win for Force India. What was it that did it today, Anthony Davidson? Oh, well, that was the pace and stuff. Alright, I'm gonna stop it, okay? I'm gonna stop the freaking cringe compilation right now. So, as I just said, we stepped the top step of the podium. I think the Mexican fans are very, very happy to have the driver second. Would love to be on first, but we were just too fast for the Mexican people. Fernando Alonso takes the 3rd step on the podium. Yeah, guys, I know. I'm sorry. I'm a fucking cringiest boy on this platform. But you can see double pink. Very, very nice double pink right there. Means that we catch up to them by 43 points. But now the epic hero music plays. You can see there are 25 points, a 42 and 17 second long race. Most of these other guys were in the 2-stop strategy, which I really think was what did it today, which I really think that was what made us make the race rigged. But you can see right there the driver standings. After 19 races, the top 3 are separated by 2 points. You couldn't script this. You couldn't script this. The last 2 races are going to be absolute bangers, so make sure you subscribe for those. We could actually have the championship done by next round, but that would be very, very, very sad, because then we couldn't win the championship, but only Dan Ricciardo who could win the championship by the next round. But coming into the questions, we're not going to kind of vote Force India for that one, because absolutely great performance with the pit strategy from 20th on the grid. That's actually a new world record in best race victory. Maybe it was the AI, but I'm kind of a scumbag whenever it comes to that. But I don't know why. I did actually turn the AI up. Round 3 normally I run 105. This one I was actually running 107. So you can't say anything about that. You can't say anything about that. Maybe I should have done 108 or something, because 20th on the grid to a win. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like, subscribe, and watch it, and see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.